how that fits.
Huh?
A faint clap of thunder. Clouded skies. Perhaps rain comes. And if so, stay with me.
For the longest time now, I've had a rather unique set of requirements for me to classify a show as truly special, and while I'm sure you couldn't care less as to what they are, I'm going to explain them to you regardless. Number one, and in fact the only one this movie did not succeed in doing, is forcing me to pause the show due to uncontrollable laughter. However, this movie isn't really a comedy and thus isn't intended to make you laugh. Number two is if a show either gives me goosebumps or makes me shudder, whether it's due to insane levels of testosterone fueled manly epicness, or in the case of this movie, amazing visuals and heart-wrenching moments, like I showed you at the start of this video. And last but definitely not least, the one that this movie succeeded in doing more than I could have ever imagined, making me cry like a little baby. Now for me especially, this doesn't have to be due to something sad happening. As well, I'm one of those weird human beings who always cries whenever the characters get the win or when they experience true moments of happiness. So, with all of that explained now, today I bring you a review of the Makoto Shinkai 2013 work of art, The Garden of Words. Let's get on with the review. The story for Garden of Words goes a little something like this. Takayo Akizuka is a hard-working 15-year-old who has decided that in between school, work and studying, he'll pursue his passion for shoe craftsmanship, while occasionally fondling older female strangers' feet in the park, like any other horny teenager. While our other main character, Yukari Yukino, is an adult who is in the completely opposite situation. She is undecided on what to do with her life, so in between drinking beer and eating nothing but chocolate in the park on her own, on a rainy day, like a complete maniac, she occasionally allows random teenage boys to sniff her feet. And from here, their romance begins.
It just happened. It wasn't like walking anymore. More like falling.
I'm sorry. Are you talking about your job?
A lot of things.
Kind of. If you're coming into this movie with no prior knowledge of Makoto Shinkai's work, much like I was, here is what you can expect. Oh my god, everything looks so freaking beautiful. My eyes had a constant eye boner while watching this movie. Almost everything is hand-drawn, and what isn't is still jaw-droppingly beautiful. From food porn to rain droplets to simply stunning background scenery. The dedication and passion to detail that Makoto and his little minions put into their work is truly inspiring, and I really do love them for it. Their use of CGI is only there when it will actually have a positive effect on the movie, and will truly improve the overall experience, which is very much appreciated by yours truly. In a time where the current use of CGI is around every corner in anime, it is relieving to know that studios such as Comics Wave still exist to create wonderful works of art such as this movie. Makoto's use of believable lighting and ultra-realistic animation all come together to build a believable world, which in turn results in more believable characters and setting, which at least in my opinion is the most important part of storytelling. And world building is something that the Garden of Words completely nails. Maybe better than any movie I've ever watched before. Everything feels so very low key and not over exaggerated like most anime, from Takeyo's chatter over dinner with his brother to Yukari's phone conversation with an ex. You get the sense that this is a real world, intertwined intertwined with real characters in real life relationships, and in a movie where characters' interactions, and even sometimes lack thereof, is at the forefront of the entertainment factor, this is so crucially important. While trying not to spoil anything, Takeo and Yukari meet in the park on a rainy day, as Takeo is skipping class and Yukari is ditching work. The two of them hit it off, per se, and continue to meet one another under the same circumstances. Over time, the two of them begin to trust one another and open up to each other in their own little ways, as Takeo explains that he would like to become a shoemaker and move away from home, while Yukari tells him, well, nothing. Not even her name. Now, I'm going to give you some fair warning here for the way that Makoto Shinkai likes to work. His character interactions, especially between romantic interests, is very subtle and drawn out, with substantial weight to every word and facial animation. If that doesn't sound like something that can keep your attention span at bay, then this most likely won't be an enjoyable experience for you. However, if you have the attention span greater than that of an amoeba, like most cultured human beings, then this will be an experience you won't quickly forget. What I took away from this movie during the subtle yet strangely intimate incidences is that we don't change as much as human beings as we are led to believe. We don't mature or grow as gracefully as the world often expects us to, and our two main characters' similarities in the way that they think and behave, such as skipping class and ditching work, to sit in the park on a rainy day exemplifies that. And it's an ambitious undertone to go with in a movie where nothing too crazy really happens, and I feel as though that is what makes Garden of Words unique. Voice acting is superb in both the sub and dub, although as usual the sub is better in almost every respect. However, watching this movie dubbed does have one positive. It gives you the opportunity to watch this movie without ever taking your eyes away from that stunning animation, even for a split second, allowing you to enjoy it in all its glory. Literally every character in this film fits their roles and delivers their lines superbly, especially Iranomi's portrayal of Takeo, and Akane Hanazawa's role as Yukari, who has finally decided to branch out from being typecast as the annoying squeaky mouse girl. She surprisingly has a really great emotional range and puts it to great use here as a quiet, mature older woman. The Garden of Words also makes superb use of music to fill in the gaps where nobody is talking, which is surprisingly a rather large amount of this incredibly short movie. However, when you mix together the fantastic voice acting and great musical track in the scenes where our two main characters are explaining their emotions through monologue, where their voices increase in volume and emotion until they eventually reach the peak, to an epic crescendo to then suddenly mellow out, leaving you with the hairs on the back of your neck standing upright for the rest of time. While I have the feeling this is going to be a rather unpopular opinion, I am personally a massive fan of the dub for this movie, and if you were planning on only watching this movie once, I would actually recommend watching it dubbed, just so you can enjoy the visuals that little bit more. Despite all the praise I've given this movie, that's not to say it's without flaws. Even though this is only a 45-minute movie, it can feel a little slow and take a while for things to go places, and when they do, they might not always go where you'd hoped, much like in real life. While many may see this as a negative, I feel as though it does a great job making the most of the limited time that the movie actually has to tell a compelling and realistic story that will leave you teary-eyed and emotionally bankrupt. So with all of that in mind, I have carefully calculated the scores for story, characters, animation, sound, and of course my own personal enjoyment, added them up and divided them by the number of categories, being 5. I score the beautiful Garden of Words 8.6 out of 10 and a 100% recommendation to buy this movie on Blu-ray right now. If you like the video, make sure to leave a like. If you fancy a chat about this movie or what else you'd like me to make a review of next, comment down below, and of course share it with your friends as that helps beyond belief. So with that, see you later chaps.